back, everybody. Molina has won the toss and has broken off. And in the booth, we have a very special guest who is a great player of the sport. Prathamesh, how you doing?
Nice to be on here. Thanks for the invite.
Now that I turned your mic on, let's go ahead and try that again.
Hey Mike, nice to be here. Thanks for the invite.
So what we've seen so far today, Prathamesh, is a lot of quality safety play by Maryann McConnell, and she has played Anu Palma this morning and was battling back with safeties. She's showing her experience and patience, and it's interesting to see her play Molina, who is a very aggressive player, and we'll see how Molina handles the savviness of Maryann.
Yeah, I've seen Molina play pool. It'll be interesting to see her play snooker. I haven't seen her play snooker yet. And looks like should be a match, an interesting match with Molina likely being the aggressor. What's the table situation for both? Is this consequential to qualifying?
To me, yeah, it's very consequential. The winner of these two has an opportunity to be the third place. It's going to be very difficult for them to get into the top two spots. So they're both battling for the third place, I would say. Let's see what group they are in.
Oh, that's Group B. I see Onyi and Anupama.
So yeah, the winners that we would expect are Anyi and Anu, but third place will be difficult to get for either one of these, Molina and Maryann. But whoever does win on top has a chance to advance as the top two advance. But the two best third place finishers from the groups also advance. We have an uneven number, or a number of players that aren't a factor of two. So it's always very difficult to see who's going to advance to the knockout rounds.
And it's really interesting to see that India being represented. I don't think that happened last year, right?
They did try last year. But last year we had less of a run-up time, and so getting a visa just takes a little bit longer from India. And
oh, I would know.
And we also have a player from Mongolia that
Wow.
took 25 hours to get here. So we're just extremely honored to have these players come and participate. It's been a little long on this safety. Unless she was trying to pot that. I don't think so, though.
It's a messy frame already. Unless someone makes the black or opens the frame, this is going to be a long frame. So what's the audience like, Mike, for this one? Do we have a lot of American audience who typically watches pool, or we have a lot of snooker audience for this one? What do you think?
So I've asked the crowd, and so far we've had a few local North Americans, Vancouver Island, rooting for Maryann. But we've also had quite a few UK and Scotland fans watching. So as predicted, Prathamesh, we have the pink now tied up fairly well again. But Maryann does have a bit of a starter here. If it passes.
I don't think it passes.
Oh, going for the plant.
I think this one's on as a combination. Or a plan.
So you really have to thin the left side of the left red then. Is that knuckle in the way? It's hard to tell with this angle, right?
Yeah, I think it's on. She takes the edge of the left right. Not the easiest one to cue though, with it being stuck near the pocket.
Is she gonna carom this? Or is she gonna pot in the left?
Karen.
Well, that's an aggressive play. Obviously, she couldn't see the angle, but safety may have been the better choice now that she's left a starter here for Maryann. Look at that. How's that?
I think she's had a bit of a result here.
I think so. That was pretty good.
The pink is on. Difficult to cue, but it's on. Has to cue this carefully.
Oh
Going
no.
off the red.
Yeah, that's a tough cue, but still makeable. I would have bet money that she made that shot. Daniel Carmi in the YouTube chat is appreciative of Molina's play. She, like I said, and Prathamesh mentioned, she's a very talented pool player and takes it very seriously.
Nicely on the black. It'll be interesting to see if the black spot is tied up after she makes the black. I think it goes, but it'd be good to see where the black goes. There's a decent break on if she makes the black. A little too straight for the red on the right hand side.
Think the break might be over here.
Yep, looks like a safety from here. Somewhere behind the yellow is the ideal spot. If she can cover the red just to the right of the pink, if she can cover that one, it's going to be a pretty good safety. There's really no way out on the left side.
She had the same idea, but distance is defense sometimes.
She's left this one on. Good chance for Molina. Interested to see which one she goes for. The one to the right of the pink, the one she's looking at right now. That seems like the best choice for position.
Mm-hmm.
One exactly to the left of the key is the slightly easier one.
That was a pool player's middle pocket shot.
Yes, missing on the outer jaw. These pockets take a little getting used to, especially on the star tables. Even there are other snooker tables where these shots don't go in the same way. The centers on the star are pretty tricky. I'm not supposed to say side pocket, right?
I don't know if the snooker players would understand what that means. I think we could mix the lexicon up. That's how new languages are made anyway. We can develop a Q Sports language.
Molina looks fairly comfortable with the rest. And she's playing with a snooker cue, if I'm not mistaken. Has she played any of the events before, Mike?
She tried to play last year, and she was unable to make it due to health. But she does practice at Legends Billiards in Beaverton near Portland, and they have an older version of the Star table, and it does have steel pockets. I mean, steel
cushions.
steel cushions. And what she says is it's just not as true as these tables in terms of the leveling, but she's been practicing for the past, she said, months for this. Yeah.
I see that there's a USSA snooker tour spot as well in Oregon. Where's that happening?
That's the final tour stop of the season, so that'll be in December.
And how are they going to do it with one table?
It's an 8-person limit. Yeah, it's a little minor tour, and what we're trying to do is just build the sport in the Pacific Northwest. That's a nice snooker, unless it's a touching ball. And so we'll take any table. And I know the Michelle and Javier down in Beaverton and Legends are just real supportive for our efforts, and so we're happy to be there. Looks like it was a touching ball.
This is a good safety. She's got the one red to the bottom left. I think it's a natural safety behind the black.
Oh no. Maybe the cushion got in the way, but she definitely miscued that one.
Yep. This is a good opportunity for Molina. I think it'd be good to see how she thinks around the snooker table. This should be standard for the black off the cushion.
Yeah.
I think a stun off the cushion somewhere around the pink spot with options for 2, maybe 3 reds.
Yeah, early on in this frame, everything was tied up on the left side of the table, but it seems to have opened up.
I think she might be slightly on the wrong side for the black and looking at the yellow right now. Looks like a roll 3 for the yellow.
It's a nice safety there because she also knocked the black ball over the right pocket, which adds a little bit of pressure. You don't want to leave the cue ball down on the top half of the table on this safety. And Maryann now feels the pressure to bring the cue ball back up.
Can't see any easy ways or easy route back to ball. She might have to go aggressive here and just go for this red.
Christian Younger's in the YouTube chat. Thanks for the help and thanks for the kind words. Glad we're sounding good now. Oh, going for the pot, but not too bad.
And she's going to leave a couple of reds on half chances.
Yeah. That's a good description. Half chances.
I think she has the one, two balls to the center. And this is a better choice. A little more aggressive. But the right shot. Nice shot. Nicely on the blue. Yellow is easier, but I think blue offers position too.
Yeah. You stun. If you go for the red next to the blue spot, then she's going to have to be above the blue, or do you think she come down to the table for the red in between the pink and black?
Yeah, I think those are the ones she'll go for if she takes the blue. I think it's a decision between blue and yellow. Pretty close. Yellow is the easier pot, I think. Can't see the angle of blue. Or maybe I can. I think.
Oh, yeah.
She's going for the yellow. I think it's gonna be the red in the right center. It's gonna be a bit of a hit and hope for position. Not sure if she can go inside the red.
Trying to get this score synced up with the one in the club. Maryann McConnell has 1 point. What a shot.
Nice shot on the red, but really difficult position to do much from here though. It's gonna have to just be the yellow followed by a safety. Looks like she's going for the brown.
What a shot. Tied to the cushion. Much better than her other cushion shot.
Let's see if she can get behind the green here. Somewhere behind the green. Surprised she played it as a two-way. And I think she's left this one on with the black.
Good speed. Oh no. Glanced off it and Kibble went very far.
This is a nice opportunity for Maryann. I think the one to the left of the pink does go. Options for the color.
Very nice pink there for Maryann.
Another soft stun on the pink. Choice of reds. Red on top of the pink to the left center, or there's the one red in between the pink and the black spots.
Gotta stretch a little bit. So she puts on her extension.
Slightly off on the position, but I think it's manageable.
Yeah, we have a very busy day today, and I'm not sure if she's swatting at flies or telling people to stop moving, but yeah, she needs her full concentration here, so you're allowed to shoot when you're ready.
Just has to make this.
Yeah, that's it. The black ball's there to help her out.
She does have it. It's not the best of angles, but I think it's enough to get to the red in between the black and the blue, black and the pink spot. Ideally for the same pocket as the black.
Look like from that angle, and it could just be the angle, but it looked like she put some left English on it. Oh, Mary Ann. Yeah, there's no such thing as a commentator's curse, but I was about to say that she's feeling it.
You tried to avoid the curse?
I didn't want to say it. No, there's no such thing. So, safety didn't quite get there. Still not much, though. Crazy good shot. Pool players love that shot, though. They know it.
It is way easier in pool.
Yeah, it's very easy. Much easier.
Nicely on the black.
Oh, wiped its feet, as they say.
Perfect position. She should be able to hold the left. She should be able to hold this for the pink. Or she could draw it back. Can't see the angle exactly, but I think she should be able to just hold it with a soft stun.
Wow. That speed. Pretty impressive shot.
Black's better for position. If she just rolls this one, cue ball should go towards the pink.
You think she's trying to do too much on that shot?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what she was trying to do there. Kind of jabbed at that one. Probably tried to just make it. And that's a tendency in these frames when they get close. I don't think she was thinking about position. She just wanted to make the black. And that does make sense because a couple of high value colors makes a lot of difference at the end stage of this frames. I think we have a bit of a safety battle now.
Oh. But has the roll.
Molina's got a bit of a free shot now. This red to the center. Cue ball behind the brown or the yellow. I think she's got her covered. The out is easy. From if she just misses the yellow, she should be able to get to the red, I think. But it is a snooker.
Maryann giving appreciation for that shot. Good gamesmanship going on.
Surprising speed on that one. She did have a choice of the roll-up safety, just rolling it up to both the reds. Molina has a good chance now. Just has to make this red. She's going to have an option for colors, preferably the black. These reds can be tricky though. Is she on the black? Doesn't look like it.
Just trying for the blue, maybe?
Yeah, blue. Either could be on, even with a bit of a swerve. The blue was definitely on.
Once again, it ends up in a safe position for Molina.
I think Maryann's done well to come back in this frame. With a couple of decent breaks. Some really good potting off the cushion.
Oops. I think this might be the second safety Maryann puts over the pocket in a row.
She's got the distance though. Which does work most of the time.
Yeah, distance is defense. Those look easy on the table if you've never played snooker before. But with these pockets, the northern rubber snooker cushions are extremely responsive. And then these rounded pockets are pretty brutal. And these are pro cut pockets, so
What a shot.
oh my goodness. So they're not the club pockets that you see in 90% of the clubs. These are what the pros play on.
Some really good shot making from Maryann in this frame. This is going to be a difficult break. The two reds are not easiest to get on. Important she focuses on the brown here. That's pretty much all she could do. Another good shot needed on the red. I think if she gets this, there is a chance to clear up. Option to either roll it in for the pink or stun off for the black again. Surprised the red isn't on.
Yeah, the one by the blue.
Yeah. Maybe blue's covering it.
Got to get on the cushion. Didn't get there.
That is not a good safety. I think if the red is completely safe behind the blue, then it's not too bad. There's not a lot that Maryann would be able to do from here. If she can get to the right side of the green, maybe then that opens up the blue. This is a nice chance for Molina. Should be able to just hold it right so that she can break open the red off the green.
Put a little side on that shot, at least from this camera angle.
A lot of pressure now. We are seeing some misses here.
This might. Oh, rolled far enough to be safe.
I think she might have a good safety to just sort of play this as a stop shot behind the blue. I'm not sure if the cannon on the red gets it past the center pocket or not. If it does, it could be a stop shot. Yep, that's what she played.
Great shot. The referee CCU taking a good look. Very grateful for CC to come in and help. CC is the owner of Empire Billiards across the lake in Redmond. The first true snooker club was Empire Billiards. When I started playing, I played there, met him, he laughed at me at the way I play, and he's still laughing at me.
I'm surprised at this shot selection actually. I thought the right side long rail was the shot here. That's a nice shot though. What do I know?
Oh, it's going to get behind it. What's the shot here? Trying to thin off one of the reds and getting safe. She doesn't really have a shot.
Thinning off the left red, and then trying to go to the green pocket.
She's coming up short on a lot of her safeties. Which isn't a terrible thing. You don't want to hit it so hard it comes back down. But yeah, you don't want your opponent to put their hand on the table.
If the top red doesn't go, it's a decent safety. I think it puts Maryann in a tough spot. It's going to be hard to control the red here. She might be able to get back to board. That's probably why she went for the plant. Like, what's this noise I keep hearing?
I do not know. We're getting an alert. People in the chat probably don't hear it. Yeah, we got the desktop auto muted. I'm checking the stream. It looks like we're good.
And I think she's going for the safety, but the red to the green pocket is on. A little bit short again.
So I think it looks to me, watching Maryann, it looks like she wants to try and pot this.
I think she can play this as a two-way. If she plays it hard with a little bit of bottom, should be behind the blue or somewhere in the blue or the black place. That's what she tried. Not enough strength though. This is a nice opportunity for Molina. Choice of reds. I think it's just personal preference on what is easier.
Yeah, on the black ball here. Well, maybe the blue to get to the red.
Yeah, just the wrong side of the black, I think. It's gonna have to be the blue or the pink, but the pink is not that easy. It's gonna have to go off in and out of the block.
That's good speed there for Molina.
It's a nice chance to close this one out. If she takes the black, she'll need up to the blue, I think, to win. Needs to hold on. Again, just that in-between position. There's a little bit too much angle from the blue, so she can't hold for the yellow. She might have to go in and out again. Or she can go for the black and play the long yellow. The black's slightly more difficult because she's going to have to hold in between the blue and the green. It's going to be the blue. Nicely played. Perfectly on the yellow. Needs up to the blue to win. Or I think I should say to leave Maryann needing snooker.
It's a stepping stone towards victory.
Important she gets to the right side of the green. She's just on the wrong side. She might be able to pull this one back. Can't see the angle from here. Yeah, I think it looks like it's just the wrong side. She might have to take a little longer brown.
Yeah, it looks like she's lining up for it. The long brown, that is. Off camera, she was at the top end. Seeing how long of a shot she'd have to take if she makes this green. It's a tough shot. So she didn't take it. This has to cross the halfway point, which it didn't. So Maryann has an opportunity here.
The cue was going to run loose on this one. Probably needs to go bottom cushion, top cushion, and then back for the blue, I think. I don't think this shot was on at that speed.
So this is your classic safety setup or corner pocket.
She might decide to roll up behind the blue or go for the brown. Safety. Yeah, that's what she's playing.
Slow down. Oh, game of fractions.
I think she's left the brown here. This is a really good chance for Maryann. All the balls out in the open. Just needs good position on the blue. She can hold this one. Oh, does she get the cover?
Yeah, second prize.
She does not, but there is distance. And this is not an easy shot. One good part is that the position is standard. Yep, that's what snooker does to you.
Yeah, that is a difficult shot. Molina has made many difficult shots in crucial situations, but on the snooker table, it's a little different. You know, it's kind of new to her in this position.
If it's a red in an early stage when you're not leaving anything but that red, it's a way easier shot.
Yeah.
Brown ball when you have blue frame, it's a very difficult shot. She's short on the blue here, but she just has to make this. It's natural for the pink. Overcut it, but it's going to be safe.
Looks like it. She undercut the last middle pocket and overcut this one.
She might have been compensating there.
Russell Jones looking in from Wales and says good luck to the ladies. Thank you for joining us, Russell. How's Wales? I hear the snooker there is excellent.
I don't think Maryann should go for this one. That's a good shot. Very good shot. I think she can see the edge of the blue, but it's not easy again.
Trolley going by. Gary Dobbs from London, thanking for the stream. Yeah, happy to do it. It's one of the best events of the year for us. Happy to have Prathamesh Sawant in the booth. Very good expertise. He's a nice player. Went to the finals of the Washington State Snooker Championship and battled it out. Has won the Best of Bays tournament way back in the day when there was a Bays.
The loss in the final still hurts, Mike.
Yeah. It was a brutal match. You guys check out the Ox Billiards YouTube channel. Watch that tournament. It was very exciting. Amateur snooker.
This is a good chance for Molina.
Oh no.
Wow, I'm surprised she didn't go for this.
Oh no.
I think Molina is playing in a set strategy where she isn't going to go for anything that isn't very high probability.
It's different when you are in a club practicing snooker, either with yourself or people that aren't at your level, and then coming to a tournament where you have world-class players. What a shot. Oh, that jaw really did her an injustice.
It's okay though. I think she can play this pink
It's
with an element of safety.
It's a 9-ball shot, right?
Kind of.
A long 9-ball shot.
I don't think it offers any position on the black. Can't blame her if she decides to play safe either. This pink doesn't really offer much. If Molina makes the pink, she can only tie.
Yeah, it says on our scoreboard that McConnell has 45, but in the club scoreboard she has 44. So we'll have to correct that. Molina is ahead by 1. Molina here for a good opportunity. She's going to need to use this rest, but the black ball is waiting patiently. All she needs to do is make it, honestly. So foregoing the rest, using the friction grip extension. What a shot. Slow down, cue ball. It's difficult to do the cue with the friction grip extension. So for the first frame, what a battle between these two players, competitors. Thank you all for watching. This is the first frame. It is a best of 3 in the group stage. We'll be right back for frame number 2. Thank you all. Welcome back to frame 2. Molina Ortiz from the U.S. versus Maryann McConnell from Canada. Both are familiar with each other on the pool table, and this is their first match against each other on the snooker table. So thanks for joining us.
Nice shot on the red.
Yeah, that cue ball really worked to get in position. A lot of reds moving around.
Choice of shots here. She can stun into the reds and then play the red on the right. Decided to roll it. I need the rest here for the next one.
Yeah, there's very little that goes into that corner pocket.
Yeah, she's got a couple of options. One to the left center here. Position's difficult. She can go behind the black and play the black in the left corner, or slow roll it for the pink. None of them are easy. Tried to go for the black, but that was probably the best way to miss it.
So as we mentioned in the first frame, this is a critical match between these two players, given that they are likely one of them going to finish in the third position. Let's see. Karen Lyson will have something to say about that, but in this group we have Anyi, Anu, Molina, Maryann, and Karen. And the way it works is the top two advance of the three groups, and then the top two best performing third place finishers in the groups advance. So if one of these two end up being third and are one of the top two third finishers, then they move on to the knockout round. Maryann McConnell is also on our poster. There she is, right over that trophy. Trophy that David Burney made that trophy. It's a perpetual trophy that we keep.
She had the right idea on this one. No offensive options. It's just going to be a safety from here.
Thanks for the super chat there, Tyler. Smiley face. I do appreciate you being a member and watching this stream. Oh, so you can hear that. That is so strange. I'm not sure how that is happening. Which desktop should be muted? My apologies. From the way she struck that, I thought that it was in. I felt that she hit that with confidence.
This is a good chance for Maryann. Colors aren't ideal, but I think she can play the one closest to the pink spot. Just draw it back a little bit for the pink in the right center. She's playing the one. If she plays the right red, I think she can play the pink in the bottom left there. It's hard to judge the angle. Maybe she's straight enough to play the pink in the same pocket, but it's going to have to be one of the corners.
Is it going to settle? It's safe.
I think, but she has the one by the pink spot. That goes. Position isn't easy. If she can stun through the gap, she can go for either the pink in the corner. Nope.
cushion. Worth the time and effort, right, to get the full mindset of making that shot. The leave is not the best, but that was a really difficult shot off the cushion.
Yeah, I think what I'm seeing from Maryann, I think when she's left in a difficult spot, she cues a lot better. Could just be the commitment as well. I think she's all in on these shots, and she's made some really difficult shots in the last 2 frames.
It's a lively club at the moment. People having a good time watching these players, and casual players are coming in to play, and then they see what's happening on these snooker tables and they stop and watch.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I don't know.
It's a foul and a miss.
Yeah. Once again, we want to thank Prathamesh Swant for being on the stream with us and sharing his expertise. He has to take off. He will be here tomorrow to join us on the mic. Could be a nice Prathamesh and David Burney show. So that should be fun for everybody tomorrow. I'm going to correct the score here just a little bit. Doing a few things. Here we go. Okay, so we're all synced up again on the score. So this score is correct. A lot of red balls here on the cushion, so it's a difficult frame once again. Containing safety, trying to not leave anything easy. At the same time, it's a difficult pathway if she wants to play safe to get back up to the bulk. And if she can manage it, the brown and the green are in good position for a snooker. Trick is how to get there. She can do a shot to nothing on the red to the left corner. But she is looking at something else, possibly a plant. Another plan here for Maryann. This one's successful. There's Aaron Moss rehydrating. He's a trooper, being a floating ref for the entire day. Kudos to Aaron Moss for coming in and helping out. Aaron and Renee have been wonderful to Ox Billiards. We're very appreciative of their help. A little thick. She wants that one back. This should be a nice and soft shot. Nice cannon there to get on the pink, it looks like. Oh no, you would not expect that to happen. And another bad thing for Molina fans is that she broke away those two reds that were glued together. So if Maryann can string a few colors and reds, make a nice break here, even up the score and go to a decider. But it's a long way from this frame being over. And now the tables have turned. Maryann has rushed that just a little bit. Molina rushed that as well, but I think her pace is just a little bit faster than Maryann. She's smiling about something. I don't know if she felt like that red ball was about to miss, but you got to shake it off. And she does. Molina's looking at the red to the right cushion, the one furthest left. Off the green ball, I feel like she can probably get back on the red to the left of the black. But she's the one at the table, and sometimes these angles are deceiving from the camera. Yep. Just pot the green and take your long red. I don't think Molina is afraid of long shots. Look at that pink ball and the black. Well, I'm not sure if that black ball goes. hard to tell from these camera angles. So apparently it doesn't, or she doesn't like it. So she's done the work to come back with a small lead. I think at this point, I wouldn't force anything. I wouldn't want to kick any of the reds off the left cushion or the right cushion. Just find a way to play safe. Looks like she's gonna, I don't know, is she doubling this? What is she doing? She's doubling this. And it went in. What a shot. Went in off the red. And I think that pink goes. Yeah, it's hard to tell. She's looking at it. Checking the red. All right, just looking at the black. Right corner. Oh no, we went too far. Gave a starter to Maryann, so she did the work with a 20 break to come back, but wasn't judicious with the cue ball. And just kind of let it go. And Maryann should take advantage of this. A little bit too strong. The pink ball's wide open. She wants the black. Got two matches going on. Got Tessa versus Kara on table Bex. And Molina and Maryann on table Judd. Nice shot, Maryann. Just taking a similar form as the first frame in terms of back and forth, lead exchanges. No one's given up. Unlucky leave there for Molina. She's using a bridge rest. They call that just a slip-on friction grip. She's probably more used to that than the normal snooker rest. It showed there. So you hardly ever see that in snooker. Little loose head pull bridge. Beautiful shot. Nice touch and speed. Interesting choice. I guess she wants to get up the table for a shot to nothing. Oh no, she's staying down here. Very thin. And kind of lucked out on that leave. That sound you hear in the background, our apologies, it's the ball washer. We wash and we polish the balls after every session so that we keep our tables nice and clean. Pretty determined on this shot. Didn't think much about it. Knew what she was going for. And got it thin again. So she was thin on that black ball, and on this shot, less thin, but still too thin to make a difficult shot like that, and left it. Woogie Man 007, appreciate you being here. We'll see you tomorrow. In the booth, we'll have David Burney, we'll have Prathamesh, we'll have special guests trying to get Anyi in here, Bex again. Any player in this tournament is welcome to come in and share their experience. We'll see you tomorrow, Woogie Man 007. Again, she's on fire. Beautiful shot. Lead is going back and forth between these two players. You kind of feel like she's going to make this in the green pocket. She goes for it. Playing safe. It didn't work. She wanted to. Oh, maybe it did work. It worked in a way that she was not expecting. Let's take a look. Yeah, she's looking to see. She thinks she can swerve around it and pot it. And she's right. Where's the cue ball? All she has to worry about is making this, because that red on the right cushion is meaningless at this point. Oh, goodness gracious. Why so hard? That was dead in, but I think at a slower pace with this table, it would have fallen. But good effort. It's Maryann's turn to try to Snooker Molina. Not sure the cross bank is on. Cue ball, don't do it. Look at this. Looks like a one cushion escape. A little bit of a swerve even. Might want to do a kick and stick. Oh, too much. So in this instance, Maryann, whether she knows it or not, can have her restart the sequence from there. And that will mean that Molina will have 3 more attempts because it's a new sequence. I don't know if she knew that, but it was more advantageous to leave Molina in the new position because it gives 3 more attempts, and it was a more difficult position. I think she could still kick it here. Yep. Either way, what's done is done. Yeah, it's a tricky little rule because it's the group stages, so they have different rules than our knockout stages. And like I said earlier, we do that for our Washington State. No, the Washington State was full knockout, but for our Ox Classic, our Seattle Snooker Open, the limit is 3 putbacks. So Molina can let it out a little bit here and go for the pink. Let's see. It's a surprising miss. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, whenever Maryann bears down, feathers, and concentrates, the chances of her making it go up. Just taking control of this frame, this pink ball, if she makes it, will give her a good opportunity to just win this frame, extend the lead. Little soft but functional, useful, I guess. She wanted to put her concentration in just making it. But if she had gone a little further, have an easier shot on the yellow. At this point, she can make the yellow, but she's going to need the green. Decided to play safe, and I think it worked out. Little twitch at the end of that shot. Maryann has got Molina on the ropes a bit here. She's got to feel confident now. Maryann, that is. She battled it really well in the first frame and had an opportunity. Came down to an unlucky miss on the pink, and Molina clearing up the pink and the black for the win. So at 1-1, if that is the result after this frame, you would have to like Maryann's chances to win the decider. But this frame is still not over. Cross bank possibly, but it's tough to miss the middle pocket. She went for the safe. Shot to nothing here. Oh, she decided to go safe. And it's not safe. See how much time Maryann puts into this shot. Typically, we've seen that when she takes some time, she has a nice pot. Nearly. Went too long, or the angle was too thin. Maryann could try, I think from this angle, it's hard to tell, but if she can try the bank in the middle pocket, or the, the double in the middle pocket, and put the cue ball as a safety valve behind the brown. But I can't really tell from this angle. It looks like she might be trying to do that. Yeah, looks like that was the shot. Maybe the blue's going to come to her rescue. Yeah, almost made it behind the brown. Brown was knocked a little bit safe. Screen ball is misbehaving for Molina. Not doing what she says. Not the safety she wanted, but the safety she got looks pretty good. Yeah, I don't know if Molina knew what to do there. There's a sense that I get Molina's just ready to go for the decider, but I can't believe that because she's such a competitor. She wants to win this one, but I think she didn't quite know what to do with that green ball. Or at least the green ball didn't behave in the way that she thought it would. But neither here nor there. Brown ball is Maryann's ball. I believe she was looking for the blue ball in the yellow pocket. Couldn't really tell, which means she might have an angle. This brown. Oh, but you got to make it. And where's the cue ball? It is in the middle pocket. It changes a lot. And this brown ball will definitely put a nail in it. If she can get in position for the blue, play safe. Yeah, Molina's not seeing the ball like she was earlier. Both having moments where they're potting great pots and then missing pots they should make. In that case, Molina was trying to play safe, a little up and down. Talk about friction grip. Well done. That was a great safety there. Molina concedes, and we're going to have a decider, folks. Here we go. First match of the day with a decider.
Hello there, everybody. It's David Burney in the booth with you all. Just going to finish up day one here at the WineCellars.com U.S. Women's Snooker Open Championship of 2024. Yeah, I've traveled down today from Canada. Glad to hear I was going to start up actually the action tomorrow. But with everyone doing their great work, unfortunately our referee CCU had to attend to some personal business. So Mike Dominguez, who's been doing great commentary all day long, has stepped up and he'll be refereeing this final frame between Maryann McConnell and Molina Ortiz. I'm glad that you're tuning in wherever you are. Looks like the chat room has been active with great comments. You can find us on Ox Billiards page on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch TV. So very important frame here for these ladies. I think the winner of this is going to put themselves in a great position to advance to the knockout, but lots of snooker still to happen tomorrow. And we will be finding out who will be the champion this year on Sunday. And I've just jumped in the booth, so let me know if the sound's all right for you, if the picture's okay. If there's any issues, we'll try and correct that for you. Definitely is always great to be back here at Ox Billiards. This is always a wonderful tournament. As I arrived, seeing some familiar faces and some new faces, which is great to see. Good growth in the women's game over here in America. Nice black, kept her on position on this open red just below the bunch. Could just stun it to be on the black into the same top right corner pocket. Well, there's my first commentator curse of the tournament. Thought Molina was just going to be getting a good break going, but broke down a little. Maryann, my apologies. Maryann has a rather long plant here. Definitely the space between those two reds makes that shot very tricky. Maryann, the only Canadian in this event. Does play a lot of pool here in the Pacific Northwest. We slowly come back into snooker, as snooker was her first game. And Molina, I'm not too sure about her history. I know she plays a lot of pool. She's involved in the women's circuit here in the Northwest. A little two-way shot there, really, by Maryann. That red gone in, she'd been plumb on the black. But hasn't really left a relatively easy starter here for Molina. Might see some reds open up here. Green is pretty close to its own pocket up there. The only problem is she's just got to negotiate a bunch of reds to queue over. It just makes it a little bit more difficult. And these round robin matches are best of 3. They're quick sprints. Not sure why our good friend down in Texas, Mary Avina, isn't up here. Enjoy getting to meet her at the first Women's U.S. Open 2 years ago. But, you know, everyone's doing it here for the love. No one's, paying the bills with their adventures in snooker. So maybe just a matter of cost. Things are getting pricier for sure. Traveling, and you have to negotiate all those expenses. But we do miss Mary. Hopefully she can come back up again. Do let us know where you're tuning in from. Snooker is a global game, reaches all corners of the earth, that's for sure. Very nice kiss on that yellow. Just put her cue ball behind the brown. Thought she might take that cue ball off a cushion or two, but Molina decided just to stun it up table. So referee Dominguez just taking a good look at it, just in case there's a respot. Good hit, so and she's very lucky for that cue ball not to drop. She's really put Molina in a tough position. Just can't even get a bridge hand really on the table at all, just as you can see a couple of fingers. Rennie, hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Great to hear that you're tuning in from Germany. Unfortunately, our good friend Diana Schuler, who does so much tremendous work for the women's game, wasn't able to make it across the pond this year. We're definitely all missing her a lot. She brings a lot of enthusiasm for the women's game. Great long pot there by Maryann. Yeah, hopefully we can start getting in touch with some of our government officials in various countries and start writing off some of these snooker events with the travel. Hopefully that would cut down on the expenses. It's not bad when you're in the winning circle, but it's definitely tough to get there. It's a battle. just ran a bit too much there for Maryann. Kind of wanted to hold on one of these reds on the right side of that little cluster in the middle of the table. Looks like she does have a red by the green into the top or the left middle pocket. Is this red spoiled the party? Yeah, looking at her body language, she just looks a little deflated there. It's a great red into the middle. Unfortunately, the result is that red just came and blocked the line for the black into the top left corner. Thanks, Irish Images Film, tuning in all the way from the Emerald Isle of Ireland. Yeah, I'm not sure. I would think that the World Women's Snooker Organization would be trying to get into Ireland. Obviously, they're very global. So we've got the U.S. Open, the World Championships, I believe last year were over in Thailand. I think next on the calendar for the women is the UK, or British Open Championship. Side pockets are really tricky. But she hasn't left any easy opener for Molina. And I think with more and more of these events, the great team here at Ox Billiards being able to stream this event really gets inspired. You know, a lot of people when they tune in, you can see actual people playing this great game, and that makes people want to pick up a cue and challenge themselves. This game is definitely a challenge. If anyone told you that the game of snooker was easy, they'd be a fool. A little shot there by Maryann. I think she's got the snooker. It's tough. It looks like that red obviously near the left middle. Maybe there's just a little bit to hit. She's having a good look at it. Referee Dominguez also taking a look, just in case there's a respot. Nice little hit. She just wanted to push that red out a bit more because she has left a thin cut for Maryann. Irish Films is asking about snooker being a big sport in America. There's a lot of work to be done there, but I tell you, it is growing. The great work that the team here has done at Ox Billiards, really kind of pushing down the doors. We had the U.S. Nationals a couple of years ago here that really got people aware of the game. The USSA, the governing body in America, has a 10-city tour this year. We also will be at Embassy Billiards, Los Angeles for the U.S. Nationals come November. And I was quite surprised to see when we were here at the Seattle Open, many people might have tuned in back in June, that the champion Andrew McCluskey comes from Sacramento, and he was telling me that they have 3 rooms in there, and actually one room has 10 snooker tables. So progress is there. You know, it's not going to happen overnight. As long as you know, we educate people about this great game, and people have an advantage to see it, I think they'll get inspired. Because it's one of those games that's kind of like golf a little bit. You're always challenging yourself, and you always remember that one missed shot that you didn't get, or you had a high run and you could have had it just a little bit more. So just that little bait in front of you always brings you back to the table just to better yourself more and more. Definitely a big issue with snooker is the real estate. These are very big tables, 6x12s. So it's tough in the world that real estate is becoming such a high commodity. But we're getting there. You see, you know, I come up from Vancouver, Canada, and there's definitely getting a resurgence there. And will we be as big as the 80s boom? Maybe Irish Images film will remember the big onslaught of snooker back in the 80s. I don't know if we're going to get a big boom like that where everyone's talking about snooker, but it is a niche game, but it can grow. I think another big thing as well would be getting into the Olympics. If that could happen, it would just be a phenomenal thing for the game. Like, no disregard to breakdancing. That's an Olympic sport over there in Paris right now. I think you need just as the same abilities to pick up a cue and play the game of snooker as you do to a few half-step breakdancing moves. A little cagey frame here, obviously. You know, both players know the importance of this one. You know, they're not free-flowing as the earlier frames in this. That's going to be okay, because I think that red that's closest to the cue ball is not going to find a path to the left middle. Not sure on that angle on that red up by the yellow. Maybe Maryann can take bottom side of it and slowly roll up to the yellow. She's got a good cue ball. Always good to put distance between cue ball and object ball. With all these balls getting scattered around, it's getting tougher to find an escape route to go in and out of the top end and return to bulk. Yeah, she's left a couple on for Maryann. chance for Maryann. She might be fortunate that that red by the left middle pocket has kind of blocked a lot of other reds that she's close to with the cue ball to go in. Thank you for those kind words. Irish Images Film. Curious where that name come from. Irish Images Film. Please elaborate, as some people might know me that I do enjoy taking 35 millimeter film pictures of this great sport of snooker. Maybe we both share a love affair for that great medium of celluloid. Just kind of looking at the table, that red that's left of the pink. Yeah, that's not going to go in the middle, even if she hit it dead weight. It's kind of long red here into the yellow pocket. Yeah, this frame is far from over, but if either of these players can get on a good run, it's always tough in a decider because you're just clenched up just that little bit, because that fear of making a disastrous miss and you're sitting for a while. There's no worser feeling in the world sitting in your chair as you see your opponent rack up points and get close to capturing the frame and match. And this is day one of the Wine Cellars World Women's Snooker U.S. Open Championship here at Ox Billiards in the Emerald City of Seattle, Washington. We're located at 1432 Broadway Street in the Capitol Hill area. We're going to be here all weekend, so come on down. Admission's free, and the snooker action is going to be fantastic. Myself, I always enjoy coming down, so come and beat the heat, as it's nicely air conditioned in the room and the drinks are cold as well. So we'd love to see you down here and continue to support this great game and see it continue to grow in America, as I'm seeing the regrowth in Canada. Granted, Canada had a great vibrant snooker scene many years ago, obviously with the 1980 world champion Cliff Thorburn kind of leading the pack, inspired other great players like Kirk Stevens, Bill Werbenick, Jim Weich, Brady Golan, Alain Robidoux. So, it's great to see that this game is coming back. Well, Irish Film, Images Film. I was at the Crucible the last 3 years, taking some photos on celluloid. And I definitely will be back there again next year. Hopefully, maybe we could cross paths if you make it over there to Snooker's Holy Grail. Always tough in these frames when they get a little cagey like this. Tough to get to some momentum. Balls get kind of scattered away. They're in obscure positions. Obviously, you see the high-ranked professionals, you know, they can make a high break out of almost nothing, you think, but I wonder if she just forgot about that red that was up there near the bulk cushion. Use some top on this one. Get down for a color after this red. Well, Irish Images film. I believe Alain Robidoux is still playing a little bit, and actually it's David Burney in the booth. Michael is now doing some referee work, as our referee had to, CCU had to excuse himself for some personal matters. CC's okay, just, you know, had to jump away, so Mike jumped in to referee, and Mike knew I was in the booth, or in the room. I stated to do the commentary for the rest of the weekend, but got a head start on it today. And always happy to be here in the booth to help out. And this will be our last match of the day, but mark your day timer, as tomorrow we will be starting, and there's a little bit of a fluke. Hand raised there. But as I was saying, we will start tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So that's 11 a.m. on the west coast of North America. Probably tuning in about 7 p.m. back there in the UK. And maybe about 8 p.m. in Germany. But it must be quite late for all you guys over there in Europe and the UK. But we're glad you're tuning in. I believe the order of play will be doing the finishing off the round robin matches and getting the quarterfinals tomorrow, leading up to Championship Sunday with the semis and finals. Will Mink Nacharat be a back-to-back champion, or will we find out a new champion? As unfortunately the inaugural champion, Jamie Hunter, couldn't make it over this year. Yes, Lawrence, I'm definitely looking forward to that match. I believe Tessa Davidson will be battling Bex Kenna, so that's going to be a fantastic round-robin match. A lot of excitement for that one. If you do a Google search of the WWS Snooker on the World Women's Snooker page, you should be able to see the schedule. Tessa's actually right now just playing in a semi-final of the seniors. She's battling Kara Cox, coming from the Bay Area. It looks like I think Tessa won the first frame, and she is up 61 to 36 in the second frame, and they're on the last red. Let's get a run for Maryann. Game is challenging enough. You don't want to give your opponent an easy starter. Take this red come off the cushion. Hopefully be low on the black. Not that low. You can see the body language and just all the emotion in her drop there. Smart play there, though. Very smart. It's good to see that Molina has done her research. We think, so I'm not sure a lot of her prowess here on these tables, but I think she's more of a pool player. And when it comes to snooker, you know, snooker is a valuable shot to play, which she just did. And some pool players might not be fully aware of that part of the game. This could be really costly. Just missed the black. Very. Could have been a 7-point foul there. A great sports personship, I guess you could call it. You know, we don't want to integrate anyone, but obviously referee Dominguez doing the best job to get it back into the original spot. He will confirm with both players, and if both players agree, we play on. Everyone willing to help out each other. Look at this. Whoa, whoa, oh. Man, that almost was a monster shot there by Maryann. You notice so much times is most of us amateur players are just happy to hit a red when we are snookered, but in this caliber of players here, you kind of have to hit a red, but put it safe. The big mantra, obviously, for a lot of these players is just get to the colors. We've seen numerous times in the amateur game over here in North America. Is a lot of the matches come down to when they get onto the colors. This is a good opportunity here for Miss Ortiz. Just don't know if that blue passes the red over there. Doesn't look like on our screens, but these screens can be deceiving. She's going to come around for the blue. Very nicely done. You almost think that she was going to take that other red that was close to the blue spot and then maybe play for the yellow. Definitely a seasoned player. Knows her angles around and plumb on the blue. Just not sure what the hiccup was there. I thought maybe she was asking, maybe saw a spot on the blue ball, maybe needed to be clean, but maybe it's just distraction on the adjacent table. Just on up a bit more or a bit less, kind of. She's, as the Brits like to say, she's betwixt and between there. She pulled up a little short. She would have had that red into the green pocket, ran on a bit more. Red could have gone into the side. Well, 43-11. There's 32 points in it. There's 51 points on the table. So Maryann isn't out of it just yet. No real safe color ball. These two reds on the side cushion are a little bit of a bother. Should be broken up here after this shot. She's left another sitter, though, unfortunately. This is where you see the really great players excel. It's when they're gifted an opportunity, they really take advantage of it. Accumulate a lot of points. So we'll see what Molina can do. Not ideal. Might be able to take the green, just stun the green in, have that red into the right middle pocket. Nicely done. Ooh, why did she hit it with so much pace? Didn't need to do that, just needed to drop it in. This. That was her frame ball too. Take that red. Take a color. So, yeah, Maryann quickly got out of her seat and knew a great chance is here. Nice cut there. Good angle on the pink to come up table for the red into the same middle pocket. Like Garrett is talking about Alain Robidoux in the chat. He's been down about 12,000 matches and never conceded. You know, left-handed showman, yeah. Alluding to that interesting point in snooker history, yeah. That the Canadian was quite choked. Felt like the Brit Ronnie O'Sullivan was taking a little bit of the piss out of him when he opted to play a left-handed shot. Definitely very uncommon back then, but now a lot more common. A lot more players being skilled with both hands. But interesting enough, I was talking with Nick Barrow, great coach, over in England. He's got this Q-Action trainer, and I was talking to a fellow in British Columbia, the Vancouver area, said, so I'm going to use that Q-Action trainer just to focus my arm, just to cue on my non-strong arm. So if he was right-handed, he wanted to train himself to be a better left-handed shot. And Nick was like, well, that's not a bad idea, but you know, you're going to have to use the rest one of these days. So a lot of people try and play both hands just so they can avoid the rest. But with a 6x12 table, there is going to be some time when you're going to have to use that instrument. Yeah, she needed that black because now she does need one snooker. 28 in it and 27 on. It looks like Molina has the snooker here. But Garrett knows me. Gotta love those redwood extensions. They are definitely very long cues for sure. Very nicely done there by Maryann. Yeah, if somehow she can find a way behind that black, she will be in nirvana, that's for sure. But as we said, it comes down to these colors. The Canadian just needs one snooker. And Sean Murphy was here a few months ago. This is patent for his shot to go up and down the table, but Molina's not wanting to do that. Cheers, Bike Garrett. Thank you very much. It's always great. I love my time down here in Seattle. And if you're tuning in, I will be back on the airways all weekend long here at thewinecellars.com. World Women's Snooker US Open 2024. I think everybody in the room heard that sigh from Maryann there. Big sigh there. Yeah. Just kicking herself there. We'll take a look at the score sheet actually after this match. I'm not sure how the standings are. I'm not sure if Maryann's just out just yet. Maybe some big matches tomorrow. Lots of moving and shaking. So Molina Ortiz, it was a nervy decider, back and forth, that's for sure. But the American just held strong. Few silly mistakes there by Maryann. Definitely she's going to have a chat with herself after this match. But brush herself off, get a good night's sleep, come back fighting tomorrow. And we'll be going back live on the airways, as I said, at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So set your time clock to Seattle time. And 11 a.m. is when we're going to start day 2 of this great championship. It's been great to finish the day with all of you. It's David Burney in the booth. Looking forward to coming back in tomorrow and Sunday to see who can be the champion of the WineCellars.com World Women's Snooker US Open champion. So that's it for us at Ox Billiards for day 1 of this great championship. Do tune in tomorrow. We appreciate all your viewership all day long. I think Mike Dominguez did a great job. He was filling in the booth and just had to jump in and do some refereeing to finish off the day, and I'm glad I could step into the booth and take you home. Good night, everybody from Seattle, and we'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m.